What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince once again. Coming at y'all with another upload. Plan on doing several today because, hey, hell, it's what I do. It's what it is. Stay tuned. But shout out to Inez. I'm not going to say your last name because it's nobody's business, but shout out to you. The dope thing is, I actually have an aunt named Inez. You're the second one I met in my entire existence. So I appreciate you for the support and time of need, whatever the case may be. I'm beyond it. It's past. It is what it is. But I want to read something that comes from the excerpt from Source Unknown. And those of you who have the hardware, you know exactly what I'm reading from. You know where I'm coming from when it comes to this. And what I will tell you is this, that what I'm reading from is actually permanently codified at United States Code 95A and 95B. Now, Google may give you a very lackadaisical approach about what it is that you're actually reading, or what it is that you're actually hearing, I should say. But what I will do is expound upon it for the sake of your sanity and your better endowment in regards to it. So let's roll. Here we go. Emergency Rules Summary. Current law permanently codified at United States Code 95A and 95B. Permanently. Permanent. Meaning absolute, according to the legal definition. But let's go further. October 6, 1917. Woodrow Wilson submits to Congress and passes the Trading with the Enemy Act. An act to define, regulate, and punish trading with the enemy, and for other purposes. Now, when you hear that word, or those verbiages, other purposes, you have to realize that they can use it for any intent, specifically and undefined unto you in the general public about what they wish to do, with what they want to do with their legislative acts. Be cautious. Congress, with this act, defined who was to be considered an enemy, quotation on the word enemy, and this act gave the government total authority over these individuals to do with it as they saw fit. This act, Section 2, Subdivision C, in the middle and again at the bottom of the page, other than citizens of the United States. Section 5B, other than credits to be executed wholly within the United States. Note, Franklin Delano Roosevelt served on Wilson's staff. March 3rd, 1933. President Hoover receives proposed executive order from the Federal Reserve Board, whereas the nation's banking institutions are being subjected to heavy withdrawals of currency for hoarding. Sounds like people was having a money grab. And whereas these conditions have created a national emergency, whereas it is provided in Section 5B of the Act of October 6, 1917, as amended, that the president may investigate, regulate, or prohibit under such rules and regulations as he may prescribe by means of licenses or otherwise any transactions in foreign exchange and the export, hoarding, melting, or earmarking of gold and silver coin or bullion or currency. And March 4th, the next day, 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's inaugural address asked for war powers. I am prepared under my constitutional duty to recommend the measures that a stricken nation in the midst of a stricken world may require. I shall ask Congress for the one remaining instrument to meet the crises. Broad executive power to wage a war against the emergency. As great as the power that will be given to me as if we were in fact invaded by a foreign foe. Pause. So, the United States is not under attack by a foreign foe, so who was considered the enemy? The United States general public. That's a fact. March 6th, 2 days later, Franklin Delano Roosevelt issues Proclamation 2039. Let's roll. Whereas is provided in Section 5B of the Act of October 16, 1917, as amended, that the president may investigate, regulate, or prohibit under such rules and regulations that he may prescribe by means of licenses or otherwise any transactions in foreign exchange and the licenses or otherwise any transactions in foreign exchange and the export, hoarding, melting, or earmarking of gold or silver coin, bullion, or currency. And now, therefore, I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had in his declaration, says this: hereby proclaim, order, direct, and declare that from Monday, the 6th day of March, to Thursday, the 9th day of March, 1930, 3, a banking holiday, and that during that period, said all banking transactions will be suspended. It's called a banking holiday. Let's look at Black's Law Dictionary for those of you who have it, 4th edition. March 9th. The president receives pre-approved war powers and ownership of gold is made illegal. 73rd Congress, Session 1, Chapter 1, quotation. The actions, regulations, rules, licenses, orders, and proclamations herefore or hereafter taken, promulgated, made, or issued by the President of the United States or Secretary of the Treasury since March 4, 1933, pursuant to the authority conferred by Subdivision B of Section 5 of the Act of October 6, 1917, as amended, are hereby approved and confirmed. 48. Statute number 1, Section 3, Section 11 of the Federal Reserve Act is amended by adding an N thereof the following subsection. Quotation. Whenever the judgment of the Secretary of the Treasury, such action is necessary to protect the currency system of the United States, Secretary of Treasury, in his discretion, may require any or all individuals, partnerships, associations, and corporations as defined by tax law as fictional entities to pay and deliver to the Treasurer of the United States any and all gold coin, gold bullion, gold certificates owned by such individuals, partnerships, associations, and corporations. In other words, in legalistic form, they took away your ability to pay a debt. That's what they did. They took substance. Still, people believe that Federal Reserve notes rule the world. No, it doesn't. They need substance. I have to have something in order to bank upon what I loan out to society with interest, which is a fictitious dollar bill. It's paper. It's toilet paper. Everybody rushing to go buy toilet paper in the stores during COVID. You should really start wiping your ass with dollar bills. To tell you the truth. Without further ado, March 9th, 1933, Senate document number 43, 33rd Congress, first session states, the ownership of all property is in the state. Individual, so-called ownership, is only by virtue of government. Now, listen to the disrespect in this. They're saying that you can only own something based upon what they say you can own. That's bullshit. Straight up. If you want to own something as far as your own property is concerned, not fictitiously endowed upon you by what we call quote-unquote constitutional rights, the government can't tell you what to do with your own fucking property. I.e., you individuals with kids, or children, I should say, because goats have kids, but children. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I gotta sit here and answer to y'all in regards to what? An example, law amounting to mere user. That's what they amount you to. Amount to mere user. So basically, they're surmising you and making you believe that you actually have to actually be accountable to them saying that what you can have. Oh, wow. Here we go. It must be in accordance with law and subordinate to the necessities of the state. Fuck the state. Are you out of your fucking mind? And they actually put this in law. We don't go for that. 1935 through 1936. Supreme Court rules as the case as unconstitutional. Case in point 5635. Railroad Retirement Board versus Alton Railroad Company. 295 United States 330 52135 LLI Shetter's Poultry Corporation versus United States, 295. United States Court Reporter, 495. 1635, United States versus Butler, 296, U.S. dot 51836, Carter versus Carter Cole, 298, United States Court Reporter, Volume 238, Moorhead versus New York, X-Red, Tipaldo, 298, United States Court Reporter, Volume 578. Here we go. 1937-1938. After cries that Franklin Delano Roosevelt was trying to stack the court resignation and death allowed Roosevelt to appoint enough justices of his political belief to reverse their previous decisions, and peacetime constitutional barriers to the socialist wartime agenda were removed. The original understanding doctrine was replaced with the doctrine that the Constitution was an evolutionary document. Take that for you. July 24, 1973. A special committee on determination of the national emergency, Senate Report 93-849. Since March 9th, 1933, the United States has been in a state of declared national emergency. These proclamations give force to 470 provisions of federal law. These hundreds of statutes delegate to the president extraordinary powers ordinarily exercised by Congress, which affect the lives of American citizens in a host of all-encompassing manners. This vast range of powers taken together confer enough authority to rule this country without reference to normal constitutional processes. September 14th, 1976. 3 years later, Public Law 94-412 of the 94th Congress to terminate certain authorities with respect to national emergencies still in effect, and to provide for orderly implementation and termination of future national emergencies. The provisions of this act shall not apply to the following provisions of the law: the powers and authorities conferred thereto and actions taken under Section 1, 5B of the Act of October 16, 1917, as amended. Here it is. United States Code, Section 12, 95A, 50. United States Code, applicable, Section 5, subsection B. Conclusion. Americans are governed by the statutes codified at Title 12, United States Code 95A and 95B, which originated from the Act of March 9th, 1933, and the Act of October 6, 1917, as amended, giving executive board war powers over the people. Why in the fuck do you think when you go on a court, you see an Admiralty flag? Now, I know a lot of people on these channels have these variances about jurisdiction. You don't even know what jurisdiction you're challenging. It's war. War on the people, war on the wages, war on the net, war on the gross, and war on the accumulation of wealth. Why do you think that the IRS is so quick to take property, so to speak, tangible property from people who don't, quote unquote, pay taxes? Y'all better wake the fuck up, man. You're living under the system of a bunch of fucking robbers. It's all they've ever done. It's all they ever will do. Now, I don't care if they watch my channel and sit here and view what I say. I don't care. Have your law based upon what you codify. See, they act upon what is written. We act upon what they say, as opposed to their system. Bitch, if I work for my own bread and my own food and my own livelihood, I don't owe you a goddamn thing. Now, you might not like what I have to say, but it's the truth. I don't owe you shit. But before you can sit here and try to make me be slandered by your fraudulent legal system, here it is. I'll put it in paperwork. Here you go. I don't owe you shit. If I want to go out here and make my own way and do what I have to do for myself, to be honest with you, it's none of your fucking business. I'll make my motherfucking money. It's none of your business. But slaves will always give an accounting to their quote-unquote masters who don't work at all. Now, I know this might be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. I know it is. That's your variance. If you want to keep paying your taxes to the government, keep paying them. It's fine. It's your choice. Keep paying them. I'm not anti-tax. I'm actually pro-tax, to be honest with you. Pro-tax to keep my dollars that I earn, keeping it to where I make my currency. Paying bitches nothing. Taxation is voluntary. Internal Revenue Code 1.11001 says what? Taxation is voluntary. It's written in your books. Sad part is, a lot of people that's out there in society don't have access to them. They don't. But, lo and behold, you still fool the sheepfold. Can't fool me though. Like and subscribe. Agents, don't contact me. I do not consent. I do not oblige. It is what it is. Don't contact me. Period. At all. And I'll say this on this video for the specific intent so that I'm not misleading the public and let people know that, yes, this is what you codified, this is what you made, and this is what you don't want people to know. But I'll let them know it because you wrote it. You wrote it. I read it. It is what it is. No conspiracy there except for you and your cricket bullshit. You know, share the videos. Y'all take care. Stay tuned for the next uploads. Peace. Light, love to y'all that rock with me. And fuck the agents. It is what it is. Let's roll.